You're listening to the Plug Podcast, music and more with Bushy and Metal Mike.
All right, you know where you are. You are at the Plug Podcast with Bushy and Metal Mike. I'm Bushy. That's Metal Mike. And now we had a long hair last time we had somebody from this station on, but now we got a long hair with a bigger beard than mine. I'm a little bothered by this. Metal Mike, who do we have?
We have the one and only, our good friend, my good friend, Steven. How do you pronounce your last name, brother?
Gier.
Gier, okay. I thought so, but I didn't want to fuck it up.
I appreciate it.
And I knew if I asked you, you're not going to fuck up your
I might
name.
not, so it's...
You're not going to mess up your own name, brother. So, also known as DJ Madness at Cranium Radio. He does the show for us, I believe, on Mondays, right?
Mondays at 8 to midnight.
And that's Eastern Standard Time. He's all over the place, like truly. Now, Steven was a guy who approached me when I was still with TMS. He wanted to do a show, and at that point in time, he kind of wanted to do like, which I loved your idea even there. It was like, well, I kind of want to do like a new wave of British heavy metal or new wave of European metal, but like really obscure bands. And I'm like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
And I just loved your energy and enthusiasm. And then, of course, what happened at TMS happened. We were going to close, and then all of a sudden, my former partner decided for whatever weird reason he wasn't going to close. And I was like, okay, well, I'm out.
Is this the cat you were telling me about that you were bringing in and you were going to hold him off and steer him over there towards Cranium?
Yes.
Okay.
What ended up happening is I had to break the bad news to Steve. Like, bro, I know I told you I was going to come, but we're closing down. And this is when I knew this dude was for real, man. The first thing out of Steve's mouth was like, well, is there anything I can do to help keep the lights on, bro? And I was like, I was awesome. Like, I couldn't do that, though, in conscience. But the more I thought about it, I knew Jeff was, and it's not like Jeff, Jeff Allen of Cranium Radio, my partner in crime there now. I'm a co-owner there along with DJ JD. But Jeff wasn't poaching us. He was waiting until the doors closed, and he asked a few people to come along. And I was one of them, and I was hesitant at first only because I told him, well, bro, for one thing, I kind of need a break, and need to just step away from social media for a while and stuff. Because, I was going through some stuff with my brother Mark and him being sick, and there was just a lot of things going on in my life at the time. And to be fair to my former partner, too. So it was like there was all that, and also at the time I thought, well, I'll just double down on podcasting. I'm going to triple down on podcasting, I'm not going to do a radio show anymore. Because Jeff and I had kind of lost touch with each other. So when he reached out to me, it was like, whoa, okay, what's up, bro? And we started talking, and he said, dude, you can have your Friday, you can have the same slot, I'll keep that open for you, and as long as you want to wait, dude, you have a home here at Cranium. Well, I was like, well, damn, how can I say no? And then the more I thought about it, and keep in mind, I've been with Cranium about a year, a little over a year before I bought in. And I had told Jeff about Steve. I was just like, you know what? I think this guy would be, he's never done a show. I don't think he has any experience, but there's certain things I look for. I look for passion. You gotta love music. You gotta be a music lover, number one. That's the most important thing. You gotta love this. You gotta love doing it,
Oh, yeah, because we could tell immediately just listening if you're not.
Yeah, I'm sorry, nothing against you casual guys, but no, I'm not gonna hire you. I'm not looking for fucking casual here at Cranium, okay? I just gotta be blunt, You wanna be casual, you can be casual listening to Spotify, okay? And nothing wrong with that, I'm not bagging anybody who does. I'm just saying we want people who are...
I'm bagging them.
We want people who are passionate and dedicated, committed, well, DJ Madness, he fits the bill. But no, all joking around aside, definitely passionate, somebody that they want to be there. They want to do this. They live for this, man. And a lot of people I've been grabbing, some of them are actual fellow podcasters, because again, with podcasting and radio, they're very, very similar, but yet there are some differences. And So I turned Jeff on to Steve. I was just like, you know what? I think this guy'd be a good DJ, Jeff. I got a good feeling about him. So then I hit Steve up and said, well, hey, man, remember when I told you that TMS is closing? I think I know the guy. And once Steve found out about Cranium and what Jeff was doing at Cranium Radio and the fact that it wasn't just a metal station, that it's basically art for the ears and mind, anything goes, DJ Madness completely bought in. And he's been one of the best DJs we have at the station. He's been phenomenal. He does a great job on the retrospective reviews. We have several. I'm writing one right now. I'm working on one. It's going to be for August.
Thank you, Mike. The check's in the mail.
Yeah, hey, I could use some money. No, but okay. I mean, it's from the heart, though, dude. You've done a phenomenal job. I mean, me and Jeff talk about it all the time, man. I mean, and you know, I'd like to think I'm pretty good at this. Like, I'm pretty good at spotting the right kind of people, the kind of people that, you know, that are just as passionate about this stuff as I am, you know. So, again, man, I'm glad you're here on the Plug Podcast. We're honored to have you, brother. And as I said, I'm so glad you did join Cranium, man. You've done a phenomenal job, man. Couldn't be prouder of you, brother.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you putting your reputation and everything on the line. And for somebody who, you know, like me,
such as it is, look, Bushy's like, oh, okay.
Who, you know, I was as green as grass, so, you know.
Hey, so was I, dude. I mean, a good friend of ours who was with the station for a short time, he's might be coming back, though. Scott Green, DJ Guilty. He started TMS. He started it. It was his baby, and as I said in the last episode, not the last episode, but the one with Jeff, which would be Meet the DJs Part 1, just Meet the DJs Part 2. So
no, this is Part 1. That was the owner. He don't count.
Oh, Meet the owner then. Okay. He don't count. Damn, huh? Already getting in good with Jeff, man. Way to go, Bush.
Absolutely.
No, but all kidding around aside, though, it's one of those things where, man, I lost my train of thought, Bush. Did you interrupt?
Beautiful. Good. This dude will never shut up if you don't interrupt him.
Yeah, whatever, dude. You're right. You're kind of right about that. I can't get mad. I can't be like, I'm like that fat guy in the wedding scene here where he's like, you know, we better hurry up before the fat guy gets mad, you know. Got to cut the cake for that. And then he gets all mad at first, and then he just shrugs and goes, that's me right now. You know, like, but no, all joking around aside, you know, Steve, you've done a great job, like I said. And like I said, I think I'm pretty good at spotting the right kind of people who want to be a part of things, you know, and want to do something cool, because I honestly do believe my goal, and this may sound insane, is to get live around the clock entertainment for the station. I'm even working on people who live in Europe, so when they're on it, it'll be evening or night for them, but it'll be afternoon here.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and I even want to reach out to a few Australian dudes and be like, hey, man, you know, give yourself to the dark side, so to speak. You know, and I think what's really cool about it is, because I've been on a hiring spree. Right now I'm training 2 prospective DJs. I got 2 more in the wings, and I've got and then I asked another guy who used to do a radio show. That should be a big hint to Bushy. Here's the other hint. He was my first podcast.
Okay.
I hit him up, and he's interested. So,
my Irish brother.
Huh?
I said my Irish brother.
Yes. You know, the guy who hates Glenn Danzig as much as I do, so that totally makes him mine.
Oh, then he sucks. No, don't get him.
Come on.
Dude, I can't stand that.
Misfits?
Steroid freak pussy. I fucking hate
Actually, I don't like the Misfits at all, but I love the band Danzig.
Yeah, you know, the only good thing about that band is the band. He sucks. He does.
Have you heard his Sings Elvis album yet?
I have no desire to hear him ruin Elvis.
It's frighteningly not bad.
Frighteningly bad.
It's not great. It's not great.
You just
but
take
it's
the
not
not and put bad. It's okay, Bush.
No, it's not bad.
You know, I know it's weird because some people go, man, what's wrong with you? You know, I'm like, I don't know. I know I'm in the minority. A lot of people love Misfits and Danzig. I like the Misfits better than Danzig, but it just was something that never... And I mean, it bothers me because there's a lot of people I love and admire and respect, like the late, great Cliff Burton, that loved the Misfits. And I'm just like, But I think what really turns
I'm
me
the
off,
same way with the Ramones, though. Everyone thinks the Ramones.
Oh my God! All right.
the Ramones are awesome. What are you talking about, dude? Like, see right there, man. Stop it. Just stop, Bush.
I'll take the Kennedys over the Ramones all day.
Absolutely
long,
not.
Twice on Sunday.
One's hardcore punk. The other's
good,
like kind of punk. I mean, like I don't see what the comparison.
They're called punk all the time, and everyone's like, "Oh man, it's cool."
I don't know. See, some people have a point of contention.
They're direct descendant of the Ramones. That was so poppy, it was ridiculous. Although I'm putting my show this coming Sunday with the Ramones. The Offspring, Green Day, that pop punk stuff. That's a direct.
That's fair.
Direct descendant of the Ramones.
Sure, that's fair. I mean, the Ramones. Look, all the Ramones did. They did what? Okay, you got thrash metal. Thrash metal took hardcore punk and mixed it with metal, right? Traditional metal. The Ramones was like, you know what? We're going to do old school rock and roll, but we're going to play it about 1 billion miles an hour, and that's what they did.
I mean, to me, there's very little difference in the Ramones and, like, say, like the Seeds or the Dave Clark Five. Like, there's no difference. To me, there's no difference. So what is punk rock? It's early rock and roll. So is it just a continuation of rock and roll then at that point?
No, I've always liked the Ramones. I mean, I'm not like the world's biggest Ramones fan, but I've always thought they were cool, man. And I mean, it's old school rock and roll, but like, with a bit of speed to it, a little bit of old school rock with I don't want to use steroids, but amphetamines added to it. That's what the Ramones are to me.
See, I don't even get that.
I don't even get that.
Maybe for the time, but I go back and listen to the Ramones, and I'm like, why is everybody flipping out over these guys? I mean, they're not bad. I'm not hating on the Ramones.
You're not? You sure about that? You sure?
I'm not hating on them.
Sounds like you're kind of hating on them.
But to act like they're the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I never said they were the greatest thing since sliced bread.
You did, Metal Mike. Do you have a guilty conscience, sir?
No, I didn't.
I said people I hear talk about the Ramones like, oh man.
But I respect
the Ramones. Why? They have a few good songs.
Fucking Better than the Elder. Anyway, moving on.
Definitely not.
Yeah, definitely so.
Definitely not.
Definitely so.
There is room enough to love the Ramones and the Elder. They're both fantastic.
Maybe in your world.
Absolutely.
Not mine. But I'm not like a hardcore Ramones guy either. I like them. In fact, to be honest with you, I'm more of a casual fan. I mean, I've got their entire discography digitally, and I've enjoyed there's some Ramones songs I do love them. I like them a lot. I wouldn't say love, but I do like them a lot. But they're not in my top 10 or anything.
Let's see. They would be on my top 10. And the thing I love about the Ramones is, you've got the first 4 records, which are just classic. But then in '81, they put out Pleasant Dreams, which to me, production is fantastic on it. Joey sounds great on it, and it's more or less. I guess, kind of a power pop record, so to speak, for them with the production, and that's something that I absolutely love that record, and that's where I think the Ramones get kind of pigeonholed as putting out the same record.
To me, brother,
they had some different.
I've always felt like the Ramones was more of a pop rock band or a power pop band.
Oh, certainly.
Or a punk band. I mean, I know they're credited, and I guess it's just because it's kind of like Iggy and the Stooges. It wasn't called punk rock then, but those bands, even the MC5, were very influential. I mean, not just on punk, but even metal as well, and I mean, the MC5, Kick Out the Jams, motherfucker, in 1968.
My favorite record of all time.
Are you kidding me? Like, who said motherfucker on vinyl in 1968? Oh, those guys. Yeah. Way ahead of their time. And you can definitely hear the heaviness and the loudness. Like, you can see I can see why in the first episode of Sam Dunn's Metal Evolution, you had the pre-metal, and they were included in that. You have to include those bands in that. And I think the Ramones were, like I said, the first time I heard them, even my mom and dad, they weren't really into it, but they're like, oh, this is Chuck Berry and Buddy Holly played 100 miles an hour. Well, I like Chuck Berry and Buddy Holly, dude, so why wouldn't I like the Ramones?
I like when they did that song Pet Sematary. That's a good jam.
It is good jam. They got a few good jams, dude. Yeah.
I'm actually opening with a Ramones song this coming Sunday.
But you're going to like... Mr. I don't like cartoons. Moving on.
Don't like cartoons. I'm grown and like girl.
I'm a grown man. I'm mature. I don't like cartoons. I'm a grumpy old man. But I'm going to say my podcast is a cat's partner's a grumpy old man. Whatever. Moving on.
Even the Freak Brothers? Come on, man. Have you seen on the Fabulous Furry Freak Brothers?
Oh, I love them.
They're hilarious.
My dad had the comic books, the underground comics.
Yeah.
With Fat Freddy's cat. That shit's hilarious, man.
Don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's because, well, not surprised. Actually, Steven, please don't take it. You kind of look like one of the Fabulous Furries.
This wasn't an accident. I get it,
Yeah, and I'm not, and I don't mean that in a bad.
I don't take offense. No,
You're like, this is a compliment to Metal Mike. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No offense on this.
I'm gonna say, if you take offense, you're on the wrong show.
Yeah, right.
I got a thick skin. It's cool.
One thing that we're very good about being here is we're pathetically subjective.
Yes.
And, so you're more than welcome to be pathetically objective right along with us, man. But, I thought it was cool to joke around and have a few laughs because it's been pretty somber the last week or so, I think. They laid Ozzy Osbourne to rest today, man. And I was on my lunch break. And I didn't watch it live, obviously, because, England's like 8 hours ahead of you guys, East Coast, 9 hours ahead of where I'm at. I'm Central Time.
It's more like 6, but go ahead.
Is it 6? I thought it was 8.
Yeah, the UK.
No, you're right, it is 6.
Yeah.
So, it was like, I think it was like 7 in the morning.
It started at 8 o'clock our time, yeah.
Yeah,
I was at work.
So I didn't get to watch it live,
watch.
but I did watch, not all of it, but I watched some of it on my lunch break, man. And I've listened to a little bit of Sabbath and Ozzy's music, not a lot, but I have listened to a few songs here and there. But I hadn't really full blown cried. I got a little choked up a few times, maybe a little teary eyed, but today, and it was really cool because their march, the funeral procession's right down there in Birmingham. They go to the Black Sabbath bridge. The family comes out, and and I know some people want to bag on Sharon, and I get it. I mean, I do understand. Look, I'm not a fan of everything Sharon Osbourne's ever done. Okay, I'm not. But I'm also one of these things, guys, and I've said it before, even on this podcast, and many, many times I've said it, that you got to take the good with the bad, folks. And I'm sorry, but if Sharon hadn't come in the picture, Ozzy would have died way before he did.
Sure.
Way before.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't, we would have been talking about, this amazing band, Black Sabbath. No, it wouldn't. It's such a shame what happened to Ozzy, And keep in mind, she introduced Tony to Ronnie James Dio, so she's kind of responsible for that incarnation of Black Sabbath, which, to me, became a different band with Ronnie, especially once Vinny Appice was in the band, and I love it. I'm not, like some people, my nickname when I was a kid to differentiate would be, I called him Black Rainbow because of Rainbow, Dio was in Rainbow, which I still think would be a cool name for a band. But they'd go, oh, what do you think of Hell or My Bro? Oh, I said, oh, you mean Black Rainbow? And some of my friends that were really big Dio fans would get almost offended by it. I'm like, I don't mean it in a derogatory way, dipshit. I love Rainbow. I love Dio. I'm just saying it wasn't the same band. Not saying it wasn't any good. Not saying I didn't love it. Not saying that really for both those parties it kind of needed to happen, like Bushy and I said in this very podcast. The wheels were coming off the Sabbath mobile. To me, you can trust the first 6 Black Sabbath albums. The first 6 are great, in my opinion. After that...
See, I like Never Say Die a lot. I do not like Technical Ecstasy. Well, I take that back. There's a couple of tunes on Technical Ecstasy that I like, but I really like...
there's some songs I like off both those albums.
I mean, Johnny Blade, and I was really happy to see, what was it, Johnny Blade?
See, I don't like Johnny Blade, man.
And Junior's Eyes, those are great. And what's the... Air Dance is awesome. It's got some great stuff on that record.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, I know other people that love those songs. I don't hate Never Say Die. I'm just saying...
I like that song.
Oh, I love that song. Yeah, it's the best song on the album.
It's the only song on that album.
I know, you hated it, you know. Whatever. Better than The Elder.
Tell me about it.
Anyway, moving on.
Let's not say things we can't take back.
Never say die. Yeah, but I would rather listen to it than The Elder. So anyway, moving on. But then again, I'm a hardcore Black Sabbath guy. It's hard for me to be like, but there are a few songs like Johnny Blade. It's got some cool riffs, but it's very jarring to me. I'm like, it was a weird record. Even
which is probably why I like it, because it's so out there, you know.
Yeah, but that's fine, you know. I mean, hey, everybody's different. We all don't like all the, and I don't hate him. I'm not Mr. Hater like the guy in the middle here. At least he's in the middle. When my brother does it, he'll probably be over here. You know, he'll probably be like on this side of the screen, right over here. He'll be right there on the side. Anyway, but yeah, it was, yeah, like I said, I broke down, and I was in my office with the door closed and locked, so I didn't have to worry about, you know. But yeah, I did break down when I saw his family and his granddaughter, and you know, and just the fact that it was like his coffin with the word in purple flowers, Ozzy, his name, you know, it was like, oh shit, this is for real. It's not like I didn't know that already, but I mean, there's his coffin. He's in that coffin, you know what I mean? It was just like, man, Ozzy's gone. And I'm going to say, a world without Ozzy, I think it's going to kind of suck. I mean, the only good thing we can say, though, the only good things we can say is, one, we have the music, which will live forever. And the other thing that I wanted to point out is, and I'm not really a big fan of this band. I don't hate them. But I've always felt like this band was derivative of Alice in Chains. And that's Godsmack. I know Bushy's a fan, but he likes a lot of derivative things. On bands that he hates, he likes the derivative version. So go figure.
Boy, here we go.
It's the truth. You know I'm right.
Godsmack's great. I think I've seen, it's either them or Drowning Pool is the band that I've seen the most. 5 times.
Now, I will say this about, well, it looks like he's got 2 quotes. One was Ozzy's final performance, and then the other one was, so we got, this is his statement about his final bow, which was, of course, a few weeks ago. Another childhood hero of mine has taken his final bow. Godsmack frontman Sully Ernest paid tribute to Ozzy Osbourne 2 days after the Black Sabbath singer played his final show as part of the beginning event at Villa Park in Birmingham, United Kingdom. Earlier today, which was Monday, July 7th, Ernest took to social media to share photos of him with Ozzy and Osbourne's wife and manager Sharon, and he included the following message. Dear Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne, it's hard to believe this moment in time has finally come, where yet another childhood hero of mine has taken his final bow. For all of you who may not know, these 2 incredible people changed my life and the trajectory of my band's life forever when they made a decision in 1999 to take a young band called Godsmack on tour with them, the Ozfest. I was at that tour. He continued. Then again, later that same year when we were asked to support Black Sabbath touring the world and gaining more and more popularity through Ozzy's fan base. And a 3rd run on Ozfest in 2000. Thank you for giving us that opportunity and changing our lives forever, for helping us find our own life and career in music. Like so many artists, I love you for being a major part of my rock and roll family and memories. It's hard to believe we won't see you on stage again, but what an incredible run you have both had. Erna added, you, Ozzy, for being the absolute metal warrior that you've been to all of us for all of our entire lives, standing tall, mesmerizing, commanding tens of thousands of people every night on stage, fearlessly and unapologetically. And for you, Sharon, because we all know you are the mastermind, the rock and the glue that held Ozzy together all these years, keeping him healthy, motivated, and focused, so he's able to give us as many decades of absolute incredible music and performances that he's had. I'm humbled enough to know that I'm nothing but a tiny grain of sand next to every artist and fan in the world who admires and loves you, Ozzy, and how many people you have touched deeply through your music and dedication. But I am so proud and honored to be that little grain of sand that's connected to the mountain that you are. With love and respect, hail the Prince of Darkness. So that's a pretty cool statement.
Yeah, nice.
But the one that really, where I was like, wow, all right, man.
I don't think that you could have to use a wrestling term. I don't think you could have booked a better ending for Ozzy Osbourne, having that last final hurrah, and just getting those accolades one more time, and for people to express how much they love him. I don't know that you could have in Hollywood written a better ending to something like that.
I don't disagree. I mean, what a powerhouse of a show. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people that talk crap. Oh, he had to be chained down, strapped down to his
heart. Like, Jesus,
dude. First of all, he's 76 years old. He's got Parkinson's. And the guy wants to get up and jump around. He just can't. But he still gave it his all. And I've watched the video footage several times of Mama, I'm Coming Home. There wasn't a dry eye in the stadium, dude. I mean, amazing. Then, of course, going out on the high note with Sabbath themselves there, and the original four, bringing Bill back. That was, yeah, absolutely. You couldn't have written it any better.
I mean, let's be honest. Most people aren't going to get to basically attend their own celebration of life and funeral. Ozzy did.
Perfect. Yeah. Well said, Mike. Yeah.
And I think Sully nails it right on the head. This is what he said after Ozzy died. I just said so much on July 7th about how much this man has meant to me and my entire organization. So I will try to keep this short. Even though a lot will mourn this moment, I think it is incredible how this went down. So many of us in the music industry know how long it takes to organize such a massive show, and I'm sure this one was at least a year in the making, if not more. So for Ozzy to have held on through all that planning, choosing his hometown of Birmingham, and then chose to stay off his meds, chose to stay off his meds and not numb out so his voice wasn't affected, just so he could give all his fans just one final last performance, and then passing only 17 days later is nothing short of epic. Yeah. He went out on his terms the way he wanted to, and in my eyes, completed a legacy that is the epitome of rock and roll. We fucking love you, Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne, Jack Osbourne, Kelly Osbourne, and all the rest of your family. Thank you for lending us your legend. No one was cooler than you. Rest in peace. Devil Horns, Sully.
Heck yeah.
Damn, dude. Fucking right. I'm like, and as I said, when I saw the interview with Gene Simmons, and he's done a few of them, but he talked about how real Ozzy was and how humble he was, and I just like everybody says that, like he's just authentic. Like Tony Iommi says, he's literally the same guy that he was when I went to school.
Yeah.
And could have been a comedian. He was that funny. I mean, he's just a really cool down there. I mean, people for not even metal fans said that. Like, man, this gal who worked for Fox News when Greta Van Susteren had Ozzy for the White House Correspondents' Dinner with W, when he did that whole Ozzy Osbourne, bit.
Osbourne.
Osbourne. And
Mom's a fan.
Yeah, Ozzy, Mom loves your stuff. Which it was funny. And Ozzy's just,
I always thought W was funny too, though. So
yeah, Ozzy got accepted in the mainstream. Us metalheads and music lovers always knew how fucking awesome he was. But you had a bunch of people, because of the Osbournes, discover, like, they became fans of Ozzy. Maybe not his music, but they fell in love with him as a person, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the fact that he got accepted, and I mean, to me, this is like on par with Elvis or Michael Jackson, or you're talking about a man who was a living legend. He is an icon. Yeah. And his music will never die. With Sabbath and on his own, it will never die. I think when we're long fucking gone, that's what I think. I do worry though sometimes, because when you see what happens to other, like, okay, here's a perfect example. Keith Richards, the Rolling Stones, said this, man. And he didn't mean any disrespect to anybody in the reggae scene right now. But he said that when Bob Marley died, a big part of the reggae scene died with him.
Yeah.
I think there's something to that. I hope, and I don't think that's going to happen with metal. At least I hope. But that is my fear. I do worry.
There's too much of it out there. Reggae is a very
niche thing.
It's a very regional thing. I mean, that's mainly a Jamaica.
And, really, let's be honest, Bob made reggae mainstream.
Yeah.
He took it out
if you were to go down there, I'm sure it's thriving. I'm sure it's in every club, disco, whatever you want to call it. But like
you said, he made reggae international.
Yeah. Inner Circle tried a little bit. All they've done is gotten on the TV show Cops.
Yeah,
Those residual checks, I bet are nice, though.
I bet they are.
But I mean, I think you're right, Bushy. I mean, and that's no disrespect to any, hey, man, hey, Mom, keep doing what you're doing, because I do like reggae music. But Bob was such a big, because he took that music, which was very regional, and made it international.
Yeah.
You can't take that away from him. But I think you're right. I think that the fact of the matter is that, because there's certain artists that, even Bob, I mean, people are still going to listen to those songs. They may never listen to any other reggae artist in their life, but they're going to take time out for Bob Marley,
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing with people like Ozzy, I mean, Ozzy.
Well, Ozzy and the guys created a whole genre of music, a whole new genre of music that's still thriving. Now it's grown and it's branched, where I don't care what kind of music you like. There's a kind of metal you can listen to if you're not being a dink about it. Like, I only listen to hip hop. Well, guess what? I've got hip hop metal for you. I only listen to country. Guess what? We got country sounding metal for you. We have kind of metal.
And I'm not a big fan of the guy. I don't hate him, though. Kid Rock, perfect example. Here's a guy who took rap, country, and metal and put it all together, and has been hugely successful with it. Whether you like the guy or not is irrelevant. And I know he's got a lot of fans, though. He's got his haters too. But I think that's going to happen with anybody who gets that popular or that big.
Well, sure. I mean, look, poor Nickelback can't catch a break, and I'm sure that's not what they set out to do. Hey, let me be the most hated band in the world.
I don't know though. Again, though, man, dude, whenever they perform, though, Bushy, whenever they perform, though, man, those places are packed. They still have a lot of fans who. So I don't think they're, and I think sometimes there's certain artists where it's like, well, it's popular to hate on. Now, I'm not really a Nickelback fan, but I don't hate them.
Right.
Okay, there's other artists that I despise, and even then, it's nothing personal. I just don't like their music. I'm not like, okay, and believe it or not, I had no idea. Because what's really crazy about Ozzy's death, there's other artists that aren't even in the metal genre that are paying tribute to him. Like Rod Stewart dedicated Forever Young to Ozzy just a while back. And I have a friend who's a violinist who's playing in Rod's band right now. And we're going to go see Rod Stewart with Cheap Trick in a couple weeks.
Nice.
Next week, I think. And next Tuesday, maybe? And it's really cool because she's going to meet up with us before the show, and really sweet girl, beautiful girl too. Andrea is her name. I've known her, I mean, she lives in Nashville and all over now, but at the time, I remember when she was just a youngin', and she, and the cool thing is apparently Rod's just a super sweet, nice guy. She was like, because, obviously, well, what's he like? She goes, he is a total sweetheart, man. Rod Stewart is a wonderful person, man. And apparently a lot of these guys, they knew Ozzy and they genuinely liked him. Like I said, Gene Simmons, the demon, got choked up, man. He started crying. And I'm like, you don't really... And Gene's not a guy who's very demonstrative with his feelings. He's very, It's Gene, right? But,
I don't know. I saw him cry in A World Without Heroes.
Yeah, well, I think the reason why he was crying is because he says, I can't believe this Steely good sawed off this shitty record.
Oh, stop it.
Under the rose, Mike. All
right. But that's what I thought when I first heard the record. You gotta understand, though, I didn't listen to the whole album. 8-year-old Mike was like, or 9-year-old Mike. What year did that come out? 81?
81.
So I was about 10, 11 years old, depending on when it dropped.
November.
I had a friend who had it, and he played like a couple songs, and I'm like, what is this tripe is what I should have said, because that's what it was to me at the time, especially. Like I said, I've
the first thing I ever heard off of that album was Just a Boy, and I liked it immediately. It was a buddy of mine. He had every Kiss album, and I was like, dude, I'm trying to build my collection. Can you just make me a Kiss mixtape? And I gave him a tape.
And he picked that song?
That's the one he put on there, yeah. Loved it.
He didn't put on World Without Heroes. He didn't put on Under the Rose.
Nope.
He puts on Just a Boy. And of course, you liked it.
Great song. And that was, man.
And here's my thing. I think what happened, Steven, is I had hated The Elder, and then I kind of, as I got older, I need to listen to this again. Listen to it, and I'm like, okay, I see what they're trying to do. There's some decent stuff on there. Bushy's kind of reawakened my hatred of The Elder, because, and I'll tell you why. When we ranked our top 5 Kiss albums, he has The Elder as his number 2.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Really?
Yeah.
What I loved is when he was on Baco's Cobras and Fire. Was it Cobras and Fire, or was it Baco's other podcast? Bro?
It was Baco Plus One.
And they're talking. Now, Baco is a fan of that album. But he's like, man, Metal Mike was giving me shit because, hey, man, you like The Elder, don't you? I fucking love it. And they're going back and forth. Man, Metal Mike, podcast partner Metal Mike was giving me a hard time because I said it was my number 2 favorite album. And you could hear the brakes go, Baco goes, your number 2? It's in your top 5? Really? Like, even, and he loves The Elder, but he was like, really?
It would be my second favorite as well.
Yes.
You want my top 5 Kiss? We can kick it off with that.
All right. This is going to be interesting because, again, you're younger in timeline. So
sure. Number 5, Animalized.
Wow.
Number 4,
really?
Yep, I love Animalized. That's my favorite non-makeup record. I think it's a great balance between their, I hate pop metal, I guess is what you would call The Heavens on Fire, but then there's some brutal stuff on it. I've Had Enough and Under the Gun.
Yes. I like Into the Fire too.
Thrills in the Night, I think, is a great
song.
Yeah.
Murder in High Heels.
Living Well is the best revenge, so give them hell. Why the City Sleeps?
I don't think Animalized is a bad record. It's not my top 5, but okay. Number 4.
Hotter Than Hell.
Yes.
Strange Ways. Got to Choose.
That's in my top 5. So okay.
I don't think that would made my top.
Can I be honest with you, DJ Madness? I got a little nervous though because when I heard the word hot,
felt hot in the shade.
No, it's not hot in the shade.
I was like, good God, man! If you say hot in the shade, that's going to be like the most hot take. Top 5 Kiss album list of all time. But okay, Hotter Than Hell. Yeah, I love Hotter Than Hell.
Hot in the shade.
Strange Ways. And Gene and Paul talked about it. That there's a lot of Black Sabbath love on that album.
Completely. Yeah.
Strange
it's a great
Ways, Parasite. Even hotter. And Paul literally admit, man, that da-na-na-na-na, he said was totally inspired by Black Sabbath.
So that was one of the first handful of Kiss records I got, and I got that when I was like 10. And the part where she says, "I'd love to go, but there's something you should know." She showed me her wedding band. Well, I heard it as she showed me her Wicked Fangs. And so I thought she turned into a deal. I was like, so for like the longest time, I was like, Paul's trying to pick up this girl at the bar, and
turns out to be a demon chick, man.
Yeah. And so, then it got ruined when I was like, oh, he's just, fooling around.
And like that would have stopped.
Yeah. Well,
but she was going to be faithful to her husband, and maybe that was what. Maybe Paul was just like, man, I got cock blocked because of that wedding ring. I don't know. Ow. Anyway,
that's awesome.
Okay, so number 3.
I'm glad he got blocked by that wedding ring, man.
Trace, what's your third one?
Unmasked.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
That's
okay,
crazy.
Man. 2 is The Elder.
The Elder.
Number 1.
Creatures.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is a different list, man.
Creatures.
Yeah,
I feel bad for not putting Dress to Kill in there. That would be like 5.5, I guess. But that's probably the list that I'll go. And the makeup era is definitely the era I listen to the most. But those are just the records that, through the entire catalog, the ones that just have, I don't know, resonated with me.
Well, we did our top 5. I think I had like Alive. Now, did we do just studio albums?
Studio.
Bush? Yeah, we didn't do a lot because Alive's my all-time favorite Kiss album.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think for me it was pretty much. I know Rock and Roll Over was my number 1. Now, when I was younger, believe it or not, it was actually Destroyer. But I don't even think Destroyer made my top 5. It's kind of went down the rankings. is. I still love it, but
Sure.
I'm not bagging on it. But
there's a burnout factor too to that record.
Maybe there is, yeah.
I like the stuff off of Destroyer that you never hear. I like Great
Pain is one of my favorite Kiss.
I like Sweet Pain,
Yeah, like I said, I love Destroyer. Don't get
like
me
basically
wrong.
Play Me Side 2.
Yeah, I don't really. I don't really. Yeah, but and of course, like I love Love Gun. I love the first like 3 records. I mean, Kiss, Hotter Than Hell, Dressed to Kill. Those are amazing.
I don't remember how my list went. I know 1 and 2 was it was 1974 debut, and then The Elder.
Yeah, I might have to.
I want to say Asylum and Crazy Nights were in there. That would make perfect sense to me, but.
Now,
Asylum might have come around to like Asylum.
I like Asylum, man.
It took me a long time to appreciate it.
And I thought they looked ridiculous even at the time when it was popular. But with that being said, the songs?
I mean, that's as close to 76 Kiss as you've got since 76 Kiss.
Probably, yeah. I mean, but I think Animalize and Lick It Up is a good record. And Creatures Night. I mean, sonically, Creatures and Lick It Up are sister albums.
Sure.
And I think Animalize and Asylum are sister albums.
I can see that.
So anyway, man.
Now that you took 40 minutes of it for frickin' Ozzy, I told you we weren't going to spend much time on it.
Shut up, dude.
Gosh.
It's fucking Ozzy, dude.
He's gone. Let it go.
Too soon, Bushy. Too soon. What
He said too soon.
What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, I'm sorry it's not, fucking, I don't know, Bret Michaels,
It's going to suck.
Yeah, I'm going to be brokenhearted. But here's the thing.
He's a big guy.
I don't wish death on Bret Michaels, guys. So just before all you Poison lovers come at me with all 5 of you.
I was going to say.
Wow. All 5 of us.
Well,
he's playing an hour from here, and I'm not.
And I know 3 of you because I include Chris and Aaron in that 5.
Right. Zach Sabbath is coming to Asheville too.
Dude, if you can check them out, you should, Bushy. It's amazing.
I gotta see when that is. It's December 6th.
Did you say Zach Sabbath or Max Sabbath?
Zach Sabbath. Max Sabbath was already here.
I've got a Zach Sabbath poster right here, boys. Right there. Hold on a minute. See?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I saw Max Sabbath a couple of years ago. My wife surprised me with tickets for our
Ozzy loved that.
It was great. It was so much fun, man.
Yeah.
It was great.
Anyway, rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Rest in power. Long live Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath. And we did kind of get down the Kiss hole, but that's okay. We're all big Kiss fans here. Steve.
Yes.
Now, you're quite a bit younger, and one of the things I've been doing, and you're going to see, is I'm getting people that are younger. Not everybody, but some of the guys joining the station are around your age range. Gabriel
Scribble. Why you got to even play? Just say Scribble.
It's Vahalio, isn't it? Vahalio? Vahalo, maybe. Sorry, Scribble, I'm fucking your name up, man.
Scribble, I speak English.
Who is a hip-hop artist and did a new metal album that, by the way, kicks ass. He's going to be joining. So, maybe I'm making a announcement before I should, but he's a prospective DJ. But a lot of these guys are your age. Joseph.
What exactly is your age?
I will be 40 in February. So
he's around the same age as my nephew Kane, who, by the way, will eventually be coming back, and he's going to be doing a total makeover.
Nice.
He's going to be doing a synth pop show.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think his name was DJ Synth Weaver or something. He was working on. Maybe, I don't know. He might not go that far with it, but yeah. Again, but no. For now, we've got now there's a few guys that are around my age, but I'm trying to get people who are younger to the station. So it's not just a bunch of old folks,
Sure.
Yeah, we're going to need somebody to do it after we're gone. We don't have much time left.
Right, exactly. So yeah, Steve. So you're about 40 years old.
Yep.
All right. So that would have meant you were born
86.
86. So you're almost 40. Then.
Almost. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you're a year older than my nephew.
Okay.
He was born in June of 87. So.
Right on. All right.
86, and you love all that music. That's awesome, because you would have been getting into music, I would think, around 96.
So my earliest musical memories would be going through my folks' cassettes and like finding the Beatles and the Stones, and just for whatever reason picking them up and listening to them. In 96 is when I got into Kiss, and that was like the first band that I found on my own that, you know, I saw on TV, because in 96, it might as well have been 1976 with Kiss, because I remember going into Spencer's Gifts and looking at all the Kiss stuff, and they were everywhere. They were on TV shows. They were, you just couldn't escape it. And
it was a great time to be a Kiss fan, especially for people who, like Bushy and I, like me, who's old enough to, I remember Kiss, like in their heyday during the 70s, but I was a little guy. Sure. I didn't get to go to the concerts. I didn't get to, you know, so yeah, to experience that, to see the reunion, to you know, and I'm sure for a young guy like you, because I mean, obviously my nephew, come on, he had his father and his uncles, so we were all like, here, listen to this, check this out, you know, so he by, you know, osmosis became a Kiss fan,
sure,
and a metal fan, you know, even though he loves all kinds of music himself, but yeah, with you, man. So you get into Kiss, they become your band, 1996, which is the perfect time for a young guy. And I can see why a young guy, just like I was in 1975, when I attracted to that. Like, ooh, who are these guys? And they look cool, and they're heavy and loud. So continue.
And so that became my band, and I mean, allowances, and that's what I saved up for, is to get, you know, Kiss CDs and cassettes. Usually I got cassettes first because they were, you know, pretty cheap, so I get, you know, like 3 cassettes for the price of 1 CD, so I would do that, and I just kind of built it from there. When I got into high school, I grew up as an Army brat. My dad is a career Army officer, so we moved a lot. Music was like that thing that was always kind of consistent, that, you know, I knew I could have that, and that was, you know, something that wasn't going to change. And when I got into high school, we got stationed in San Antonio, and on their KZEP station on Sunday evenings, for like 5 hours, they would play the Classic Metal Show with Mario Munoz, and that's where I first heard Iron Maiden, first heard Saxon, King Diamond, all that kind of stuff there, and all that stuff, I you know, immediately loved that stuff. Around the same time, I started listening to the Grateful Dead, and it kind of branches out from that. So if you like Kiss, well, you might like Motley Crue and AC/DC. Same thing, Grateful Dead. If you like the Grateful Dead, you may like Crosby, Stills, and Nash, and you may like Neil Young, and so it kind of always splinters from there. In college, I worked at a record store, and that's where, you know, the jazz and everything came in, because working with, it's kind of like Cranium, working with lots of different people from lots of different backgrounds, you know, you know, we could play whatever we wanted within reason.
You absorb it, yeah.
You do, and you know, I would have never picked up a John Coltrane record. You know, then I heard it when I was working at the record store. I was like, oh my god, like it blew my mind, and so all that stuff kind of comes together, and I just ended up realizing that it's like, damn, I like lots of different things in this area. You know, there's very little music I don't appreciate, and there's very little that I can't find something that I like in it.
Very cool, dude. That's awesome.
I got a question for you, because I didn't know you were military adjacent. Did you ever get a chance to be stationed overseas?
I went in 98 to 2000. We were stationed in Seoul and Daegu, Korea.
See, that's awesome. I never got to go to Korea. I was very young when I lived in Germany.
Is that when you became a K-pop fan?
He probably heard a lot of it.
I'm joking, but yeah.
You know, that was when I was. I mean, I would go. There was a Tower Records in downtown Seoul that was pretty inexpensive, and that's where, you know, I would go and pick up. I remember I bought Get Your Wings there.
Oh, and, nice.
God, I can't remember what else I got there. I think maybe the 96 Motley Crue album. Like, that was like the first time of me going there, like, you know, in a new country. First thing I want to do is go to the record store. You know, naturally, of course.
That's awesome. Because I grew up in Germany. I was born in Germany. We spent 3 tours there. I remember Nuremberg a lot, so much so that I can still smell it when I see certain pictures of like their Christmas market. But Heidelberg, that was 3rd to 6th grade. You know, so I paid attention to radio a lot more there. Did they have the Armed Forces radio and television services over there in Korea?
1 radio station and like 3 American channels. So you were really, it was slim pickings to what you could listen to and watch.
But you got everything. I mean, I did. When I was over there in Germany, we came back to the States November '86, just before Thanksgiving. We got back to the States. And somewhere in there, I remember, and I actually asked Dee's son about this, but Dee Snider did public service announcement. They didn't have commercials on television at that time. Right. Not on AFN. It was just public service announcements. And he was doing one for AFRTS, which is the radio station they have overseas for the soldiers and their families. And I just remember him saying, if you like country, if you like R&B, if you like the blues, if you like heavy metal, especially heavy metal, you know, just doing a promo for AFRTS. So I was just curious because I came back to the States so long ago. I was curious if it was still kind of like that. Do you still have your celebrities doing your radio spots? And
you had those, and I remember Charlie Daniels came over there and played a concert. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders came by.
I saw Charlie Daniels years ago at the Alton Expo. He was amazing.
Well, see, I didn't go, and I regret it because I was too cool to go to that. And my dad's like, "Yeah, you might regret it. It may be cool to go see it." No, I'm not going to go see it. And you know, of course, today I'm like, "Yeah, I should have gone."
You want to go back in time and slap your younger?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn it, boy.
Yeah, exactly.
There, Bushy.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to go back and see that I was just like, whatever, I'll catch it.
Yeah, I missed out on Black Sabbath and in 2004, so, you know.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep, couldn't get off of work and kept my shitty delicatessen job versus going to that, so, you know. But hey, you know.
Should have flipped the boss.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you made the right choice. In hindsight.
That $24, damn it, that was, you know. I earned it.
You were building a life lesson there that sometimes you have to sacrifice a little pleasure for the long.
Maybe a once in a lifetime to see someone you're never going to be able to see ever again, Bushy. You're right. You are absolutely right.
You got to look at the long game.
I'm sorry, but I agree with you to a certain extent, Bushy.
I'll never blow off work to
I did.
Show.
When I was younger, I did, but again, it was stupid piddling jobs. It wasn't a career.
Yeah, I mean, I was
blowing off your career and blowing off a job that's a shit job is 2 different things to me. And when you're younger, yeah, there would be many times I didn't blow it off. I would just I called off a lot. I did, but they had a point system, so I would only go so far until I was like on
just how far the envelope pushed,
and then you know.
See, I never knew about a point system until I started nursing, and then I did abuse it because my weekend to work, it was always beautiful, and then the weekend I was off, it was always pouring down rain in northern New York, and I just got to the point where like we would get paid on a Friday. I'm supposed to work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Our payroll department was in the basement. I would go get my check and be on my phone. And I was spending minutes then, okay? I was spending good money at the time. And I would be walking out of the building because the director of nursing was on the 3rd floor. I'm walking out of the building, calling in sick because I was going to get some beer and go to the beach. You know, I remember doing that. It's not a good lesson, kids, okay?
It's not, but I'm just saying.
You go every day and have your soul crushed like the rest of us, and you do it because it's going to pay off. You got look at the long game. You got to look at the long game.
You can grow up and become a DJ on Cranium Radio if you work really hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even your dreams can come true.
Right. Exactly, guys. So So all right, man. So Kiss was kind of your gateway band in a way.
I would say the Beatles, and then definitely.
Well, I mean, obviously
right
the Beatles and the Stones, but Kiss was, like you said, was your
that was the one that just kind of they were like the first one that I was without any parental or any kind of influence or anything like that I like found on my own, so to speak.
Right on, because I mean, obviously, even me as a young kid, I mean, my mom and dad would play music on the turntable. I mean, that's why I love artists like Willie Nelson and John Denver even, and of course the Eagles and Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that. So I get it. I see exactly what you're saying, you know. All right, cool, man. So
what's your show like is what I want to know, because I haven't listened. I'm going to let you know I'm horrible about listening to shows.
You kind of suck, don't you, Bushy?
I'm the worst.
Man.
I'm the worst. I'm supporting from back here.
So, well, I mean, I appreciate Mike giving me a shot and allowing Jeff to give me a shot and all that. That's been huge. And originally I was thinking when I was talking to Mike about that metal station, I was like, okay, maybe a new album show, a new wave of British heavy metal, maybe something like that. I talked to Jeff and like I gave him my idea, and he's like, yeah, we've got metal covered on there. He's like, are you in anything else? I'm like, am I? And I was like, and I kind of just, rattled off some things that I like and things like that. And he's like, yeah, if you have a show that you can play that kind of stuff and play, some off the wall stuff, yeah, you can definitely do that. And we do have a lot of metal DJs, and they are far better than I ever would be at that type of music and all that. And the great thing about Cranium is, there's something for everybody there. There's something. If you enjoy a certain genre of music, I'm sure there's something there that you can land on that you'll like.
Well, as I said, my big goal is to expand that palette even more, and one of the things I was going to say, Steven, now, do you ever play hard rock or metal at all?
Yeah,
sometimes you do.
Occasionally, occasionally I do, but really, I use the tagline. It's high energy rock and roll and psychedelic soul. So there's a lot of MC5 and the Stooges, but then also there's some Smokey Robinson and the Miracles and
right on. I love that.
So there's kind of a kind of an underground garage feel to it, I guess. For those XM folks out there,
I love that.
Kind of the ballpark I tend to play in. Now I'll throw on some jazz and things like that from time to time. Maybe some John Denver, and just kind of really just
all over the place. Literally.
Yeah, really. And that's
the show is called Sonic Lunacy.
And that's kind of what I try to live up to. I try to make it. I try to play different things, and I try if I play like I played. I do the 11 o'clock double shot, and that's where I play 2 songs by an artist and kind of promote the store and the merch and all that. And so, I played Black Sabbath, and I played a National Acrobat and Lord of This World. So, and I try to play kind of like album cuts, not like, and nothing against anybody. Yeah, that's more or less kind of what I do. If I play the Stones, I'll play The Spider and the Fly versus, Satisfaction or something,
And you know what, dude? I'm all down for that. Like, one of the things that I even try to do, okay, and I it's a classic and it's a great song, and I'm not bashing it. I've never played Crazy Train on my show, ever.
Sure.
Ever, because I don't have to. Terrestrial radio's got that covered.
Yeah, absolutely.
Radio's got that covered. So when I play Ozzy, I usually play deep tracks. I play songs that you don't hear on the radio, on normal radio. And that's not just Ozzy. I'm that way with a lot of bands. I'm very much an album guy, and I'll pick the deeper tracks, and one of the things I think that's really cool about this gig, and I know Bushy agrees with me, and I'm sure you do too, is what's really cool about it is I've turned people on, because here's the thing. Something doesn't have to be new to that person.
Sure.
And one of the things, like you just said yourself, you discover Kiss, and then you realize, and that was one of the most exciting things when I started getting into hard rock and heavy metal as a young guy, is I would find out this band would put out an album that turned me on to them, and then I would find out, well, they've got like 3 or 4 albums before that. And I would go out and buy those records and discover their back catalog, and that's what part of the fun of being a fan is. And So not only do I play new bands, but I also play bands that some people are like, oh, I'm not really familiar with this band, but I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, cool. But you know what? I've had listeners that have turned me on to stuff. And I know Bushy as well, and probably you. Like, I'm like, oh, wow, this is amazing. And that's the one thing that I love about doing this is I've when people say, man, Metal Mike, you turned me on to Haunt, or you turned me on to Nervosa, or whatever band it is. I'm like, that means the world to me that I was able to turn you on to something you hadn't heard before.
There's no bigger compliment than somebody saying, oh, I got into, whatever.
Well, one of the really cool things, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but we have a young guy, he's a listener. He's in his 30s, named Travis Parada. And he makes the rounds around the different podcasts. In fact, he's going to come up on our show in the future. And we had met him in person at the Rockin' Pod.
Which I'll be at the next one, because that's just a hop and skip and a jump from where I am.
Oh, dude, you gotta go. You gotta go, dude. Yeah. In fact, I'm talking to Jeff because I would like for Cranium to have.
I've been going for years, man. There's nothing better.
I remember when you shaved your you shaved your face. Yeah.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
That was the first one.
I'd like to have Cranium have a booth there if possible. Like, maybe. That we could maybe do live shows from the event. I'm going to look into that. When you get, people like Travie Patty, as we call him, and we kind of took him under our wing and showed him around and hung out with him. And he's just a really, really cool dude, man.
Yeah.
And what was cool is when we interviewed Don Jameson, he was so excited. He's like, Don's the reason why. Because Travis was a guy who, again, listened to a lot of his dad's records, got turned on to rock and all kinds of music. Like, Travis was all over, kind of like you, Steve, all over the place. And he wasn't that familiar with metal, really. But then he started watching that metal show with Eddie Trunk, Don Jameson, and Jim Florentine.
Yeah.
And you know how they would do their recommendations?
I miss VH1 Classic, man. That was so much fun.
Yeah. He would pick certain albums that were oh, here we go. Oh, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. He would, they would all pick an album, like a pick of the week or whatever. I forget what exactly they called it. And I think Don had talked about Iron Maiden Killers. I think it was Killers. And Travis watched that episode, and he went out to Best Buy and he bought that record. And it was a whole other world to him, to heavy metal. He just became a huge fan of that kind of music. So when we interviewed Don, I said, Travis, I want you to sit down here while we interview him and talk to him. And when we got done, right towards the end of the interview, I said, hey, Don, I got somebody who really wants to meet you, and he wants to tell you something,
Don's almost family at this point.
Right. I mean, he's been on the podcast so many times. I mean, we're like on first name basis and now. He's such a great guy.
Nice.
In fact, when I seen him open for the Dead Daisies, I've got right there on my wall an autographed picture, and he says, DJ Metal Mike, keep a podding.
Nice.
Don Jameson,
Yeah.
So, really cool dude. Love Don. And when Travis told him, you're the reason, like, it was because of you that I've become a metal fan, and I just want to thank you. And you could tell, man, I think Don was getting a little, like, emotional about it. It meant the world to him. And he said, well, that's why I do what I do, brother. And I'm just like, that's awesome, because, like, now Travis is into all kinds of heavy stuff. Like I said, though, he likes psychedelic. That kid is very, 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 very knowledgeable about music. I mean, it blows me away someone as young as him knowing as much as he does about
the old stuff. It's not like it's new stuff or stuff in his age bracket. It's the old stuff.
Not at all. But he likes new stuff too. I've turned him on to new stuff, and he'll go, wow, that's really cool, So Travis, we love you, man. So I just wanted to give you a shout out, brother. I actually talked to him on the phone earlier today.
Nice.
We talked about Tool. Because he's like, dude, did you see Tool cover Hand of Doom? I'm like, no, Travis. Actually, I missed most of that because I was on fucking call.
Yeah.
And then Bill had his 4th of July shindig. And I was hoping, because I was under the impression that you had at least a few more days to get the video on demand version. Well, they only did that the day after. So I didn't get to it quickly.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot of this show I have not seen, and I'm kind of going to hold off now, especially with the Sabbath and Ozzy stuff, because I know I've already seen like a few scenes when he did Mama I'm Coming Home. This is after he passed away. About ripped my fucking heart out. So I'm kind of like, all right, I gotta prepare myself for that. But yeah, I mean, Travis, man, great dude. And we just thought that was so cool when he told Don Jameson that, you know, this little show on VH1, man, he's like, hey, man, check out this band, check out this album. Travis went to Best Buy and bought it and went down not just the Iron Maiden vortex, but metal in general, because he would hear those guys talk about Saxon and, you know, all these great bands, you know. And so, yeah, I mean, that's why I think we all do what we do here, man. And like I said, I think you're a great asset to Cranium Radio, man. Like, especially because not only are you good at this, but you're quite the wordsmith too. I've read quite a few of your reviews. I mean, your review on The Elder almost made me change my opinion about the album.
Hey, that's
which really I kind of backslid because of my co-host when he said it was his second.
Stop your nonsense, gosh.
Also, part of the reason why I do it is he just said nonsense. It really is. I don't hate The Elder, guys. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I just bust Bushy's chops. I live for that shit. But he busts mine, so it's all good.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to check this show out because I like that it's all over the place. My debut show, that's how I did it. It was all over the place. I kept getting comments in the chat room. I thought you were a hair metal guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's my favorite. I might have played one or two hair metal songs.
Well, that's the thing about Bushy, though, dude, is you're kind of all over the place because you grew up on Top 40 Radio and you loved pop just as much as you loved the metal. You loved a lot of different kinds of music, and I know you're a country music fan. You're pretty knowledgeable about that scene as well. So it's not like, I mean, I tease you, dude, but I know I think you're pretty well-rounded and a fairly open-minded guy. I mean, I bust your chops.
Like music, there's some stuff I don't like. There's some stuff I've come around.
Bands or artists that you're not going to get. Like, there's bands that people absolutely, and artists that people adore where I'm like, I just don't get it. And it's not even that I hate them. Like, here's a perfect example. I don't see what the fuss is about U2. Like, they got a couple of songs I like. They're okay, but I don't understand why people put them on this level. Like, when it comes to Irish rock bands, I'll take Thin Lizzy every day of the week.
I'm with you,
Monday over.
Not even big on them. I've tried. I tried going through their discography. I forget who sent it to me. I've obviously got to re-get it.
Who?
I don't. Thin Lizzy.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No, I didn't dig it.
Really? Okay.
Now, here's the thing. Every song I hear on the radio I like, and I love that live record. I've got that on vinyl back here.
That's a great album.
My cabinet.
Live and Dangerous?
Yeah. Great album. But to listen to the studio stuff, like...
Well, don't get me wrong, dude.
It was the very early stuff, because I heard their version of Whiskey in the Jar, and I heard all these great things about it. I'm listening to it, and I'm like, dude, Metallica brutalized that song. They made it so much better. I'm like, why is everybody singing their praises? Our buddy Stephen Kirsch.
Well, he loves him some Thin Lizzy, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy.
The first three Thin Lizzy records are, well, maybe the first two are very different than what they.
Yes, they evolved, Bush.
Yeah,
they evolved.
Just like UFO. You know, I love the first couple of UFO records. A lot of people, you know, they kind of start with
I never even got into, but I never heard them.
Yeah. And that's typically, you know, what I would try to do. Like, if I play UFO, it'll be, you know, something from the first couple of UFO records, just because, you know, people have heard Lights Out, and people have heard Too Hot to Handle. You know, I try to, you know, that psychedelic space stuff kind of fits into what I'm doing anyway. So it all kind of works out, and it's, you know, it's.
I mean,
kind of
if you're looking for a heavier side to Thin Lizzy, Bushy, you need to listen to Thunder and Lightning. That's been what's ironic is I think maybe their last album, wasn't it? Wasn't that their last? That's the one with John.
Was that a Renegades? Which?
Yeah, John Sykes was in the band. Of course, John Sykes, of course, went on. You know, he came from Tigers of Pantane. Then he joined Thin Lizzy. Then he went from Thin Lizzy to
Spellbound is a great record too. Speaking of that, yeah.
He went to from Thin Lizzy to Whitesnake. He was really heavily involved in the '87 Whitesnake album.
Yeah, that's a great record.
And then went on to do Blue Murder, which was a record that, for whatever reason, flew under the radar. It's a really good record, but Sykes was an amazing guitarist. You might really gravitate, like if you don't like Stone Cold Crazy, man, or not Stone Cold Crazy,
Cold Sweat.
Cold Sweat. Fuck, dude, that's a jam, man.
Yeah.
Even the title track, Thunder and Lightning, it's probably the heaviest thing Thin Lizzy ever did. They were definitely, and they did kind of get heavier, but what was interesting about Thin Lizzy is they're kind of like, and I'm not saying they're like this band sonically, but as far as like a band that was all over the place, Queen. Was Queen, were they, stadium rock? Were they pop?
Got the Queen shirt on today.
Hard rock? Were they arena rock? Were they they were all those things. I mean, Queen was all
amazing. That's what Queen were.
Yeah, they were.
Like them with Adam Lambert singing. I wish they'd record a record.
Queen, but you know what I mean? Like, Queen was one of those bands, again, I'm going to compare them to the Beatles, all over the place.
Sure.
All over the place. And so was Thin Lizzy. Thin Lizzy would take Irish folk songs, or they would do like different, he would incorporate country and just, fill, because, in America, like over in Europe and other places, Thin Lizzy's revered. Like they're up there with the Zeppelins and the
Oh, well, Phil's got his own statue. I mean.
Right. Here in America, though, it's just, really, Jailbreak, that album. It's on Jailbreak.
Yeah, I know that one. I like that one. That's why I was so disappointed. I made it through 2 records, and I was like, I am done with these guys.
Yeah.
I'll stick
which
with
records did you listen to?
I was going to say, which ones?
The first 2. I was going.
Well, that's why, dude.
Okay, yeah.
You need to, if you go back to it, don't listen to the first 2. Listen to the third on. And I'm not saying you're going to love everything they do.
See, I love that third record. That third record's a nice balance between what they were and what they would become. I love Vagabonds.
Yeah, but like I said, they evolved, though. They changed, and especially if you're a guy that's used to songs like Jailbreak and
Jailbreak, the boys
song.
Are back in town, stuff like that. The
Cowboy song. I love the Cowboy song.
Yeah.
Love that song.
Seems like Black Rose and Johnny the Fox would be perfect for you, Bushy.
See, I think you would like those.
Johnny the Fox. I've only heard the the Ace Frehley cover.
Well,
yeah, I don't think I've ever heard
Emerald?
the song.
Yeah.
But yeah, you should probably the first 2 records. I mean, there's some people that stand by, and I don't hate them, but they're definitely different, man. They're like, whoa, but it's interesting to listen to, because I like to see the evolution of a band. Like, okay, how did they start and where do they end up? Is sometimes fascinating to me, and even if it's a direction I'm not really into, it's still kind of like, whoa, they started from here. But then they ended up here. And then, of course, you got your other bands like Jeff mentioned when he was on. Slayer is always going to be Slayer. AC/DC is another one of those bands. Like they have that formula in it, and they kind of stick to it. And then you have other bands that do experiment and try different things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then there's bands that can do it and get away with it. Like, here's a band. Not to get in the vortex, but Metallica, and that's all I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to get in a big vortex, but just that Metallica's been able to do things, and not like some bands will change, like Kiss, man. When Kiss went disco, or Kisco as they called it, and then they're like, well, hey, I Was Made for Loving You was a big hit. Let's do a whole album of that. Let's do a power pop album. And then by then, it's like, oh, let's do a concept album. Even though we told the fans we're going to do a really heavy hard rock and metal record, then they do the Elder. It alienated a lot of Kiss fans. I know, I was there, to where by the time Creatures comes out, it's an incredible album. Nobody gave a fuck. No, I didn't even know that album existed until after Lick It Up came out. And then when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
I get that, because like when we did our Megadeth retrospective, how much Megadeth did I miss out on because of Risk?
See what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And then you go, and I'm sure Metallica did lose some, but Metallica just has this innate, a magical ability to release no matter what it is. Doesn't matter what they do. They not only survive,
they thrive.
Like Kiss had to go through some lean years, and they survived. Alice Cooper too. Many artists don't stay on that high a level. Metallica was able. It didn't seem to matter what the fuck they released, and some stuff that I just don't like at all. But it's like, it didn't matter. It just didn't matter, man. It's like, it still amazes me that they were.
I'll still argue Iron Maiden, but Maiden doesn't do that great stateside, but in Europe they do huge.
They do huge, and they do huge in South America, dude. But Metallica played fucking Greenland and sold it out. Greenland, dude. They're the biggest metal band.
They sold it out. What was there? 3 people?
I don't give a fuck, dude. I'm just telling you, they're bigger. They're bigger, dude. I mean, look, Maiden is...
That was 3 drunk Vikings that thought Amon Amarth was coming.
Okay, Bushy. Whatever. I'm not going to argue with you. They're a bigger band. Steve, come on, man. Who's the bigger band, Maiden or Metallica? I love Maiden, but come on.
I mean, if you're looking from sales records from that standpoint,
I'm talking popularity. I'm not talking about musicianship. I'm not talking about any. I'm talking about.
I would say with popularity, Metallica. Just look at their record sales. You know, now I would say there's more Iron Maiden records I like than Metallica. To me, Metallica died with Cliff. I don't like anything after Puppets. I know that's sacrilegious to say to a lot of people.
Oh, wow. So you don't even like Justice for All, huh?
It's okay. It doesn't do much.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think the Cliff Burton era is fucking flawless. I'm kind of with you on that. You know, like and that's the problem. Where part of Metallica's problem is they were a victim of their own success in a way.
Sure, no, I agree with that 100%.
When you release 3 successive, just total thrasher pieces in a row, like what do you do after that?
Yeah.
Where do you go? You know, so
MTV to actually finally get popular because they weren't big during that time. That's the craziest thing to think about is that you got Kill 'Em All, you've got Ride the Lightning, which is my all-time favorite Metallica album. And you got Master of Puppets, but when you think about it, they were doing a lot by word of mouth. But once the video for One hit MTV and this whole new world discovered Metallica, it was over with at that point, and it was inevitable those first 3 albums were going to blow up in sales.
Also, I think
because you've got the MTV generation finding them finally.
Right, and I also think the fact that Metallica didn't ever do any videos. Ever with Cliff.
I had a buddy that hated the fact that they had a video out.
Yeah, I know. Dude, there were some hardcore thrash guys that thought they sold out after Kill 'Em All. I'm like, okay, whatever, fucking whatever.
Because of Fade to Black?
I guess, because not every song was 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's the one thing that would make me mad when I would criticize certain aspects of the Black Album, and you get these people who just get butthurt, and I'm like, look, I get it. It's one of the highest selling albums of all time. People adore this record. I'm not stupid, but I'm sorry, man. Number one, it wasn't my Metallica, and number two, I understand them wanting to simplify things because let's be honest, And Justice for All is almost progressive thrash. I mean, it's very very long, drawn-out songs, very,
I would disagree on drawn out.
Dude, there's some songs that are
like 9 minutes long.
Yeah, they're long, dude. I mean, maybe they help.
They're not good like Orion, so it doesn't count.
Oh, stop.
Oh, damn. Shots fired.
See, I think Justice is probably their second best album.
And fair enough. I love Justice, too. I'm not ripping it. I'm just saying that I can understand why they went and, okay, let's simplify it. My biggest problem, though, is they simplified it too much. They went too far in that direction. Sad but true. Perfect example. An amazing riff, but it's so redundant and repetitive. Oh, my God. Over and over and over. To where I'm like, okay, I'm ready for this fucking song to be over. You ruined it. You fucking ruined it, But be that as it may, neither here nor there. My point that I was trying to make is the fact that they were able to do what they did. Most of their predecessors and contemporaries weren't. Okay, I mean, so much so that Dave Mustaine listened to Lars Ulrich. Don't ever do that again, Dave. Don't ever listen to a thing Lars says ever again. Oh, Dave Mustaine used to take more risks. And then he puts out that abomination of an album, which is really weird because wasn't it The System Has Failed was supposed to be a solo record? But I'm like, if anything sounds to me like a Dave Mustaine solo album that's totally different, like you would have thought it would have been Risk. Risk is the album where it doesn't really sound like Megadeth at all. And it's kind of like when Blackie did the Crimson Idol, and I forget the album afterwards. Those were originally intended to be solo records. But the record company's like, no, absolutely not. Because
Wasp has been Blackie solo since the 4th album anyway. Who cares?
It has, Bush. Well, that's the thing. Wasn't Crimson Idol the first album after the Headless Children, right?
I don't remember. I know I like Crimson Idol a lot. I think it's a dynamite record.
A lot of people. That's a very divisive album. Like, some people love it, some people hate it. I'm just kind of like, not bad. I mean, to me, I don't put it as high as the other Wasp records, but I don't hate it. And I
like that it's so different. I put it. This is going to blow your
I am
mind.
surprised, considering you don't like concept records, that you actually like it.
I put it with Mindcrime.
Oh, you're insane. No. Stop.
Go back and listen to it, Mike.
I have. I saw him perform some of the songs live.
And while you're at it, you got to listen to Chinese Democracy again.
No.
Oh, boy.
Never waste my life ever like that.
Are you a fan of that record, Bushy? Like, that's not just like a gag. Like, that's like the God's honest truth.
Oh, dude, you didn't hear our review? We did an uncovered gem on that album.
That record.
Okay. That's cool. Right on. I'm glad that you did. And I'm not saying this to be a jerk. I'm glad that you do. Like, I'm.
You know what? In the immortal words of our good friend Mark Alden Taylor, our fellow DJ and podcaster, enjoy. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, and I do.
And yeah, you can. It's all yours, buddy.
The world.
Great.
Oh man, it took me one listen. I was like, wow, this is what people have been like clamoring for. And
Thank you, DJ Madness. Thank you.
I mean, really, I'm probably the wrong person to ask for Guns N' Roses after Appetite. There's nothing.
Thank you. One of the most overrated hard rock metal bands ever of all time.
I mean, it really is. It really is.
Better.
No, they didn't get. Oh my! How did they get better? Dude, they peaked with Appetite. What are you talking about?
You're
man?
out of your mind.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm
not.
Way better.
Dude.
Those Illusion albums, man, the masterpieces. Slap it right next to Chinese Democracy. It's amazing. Yeah, they weren't hungry and street anymore, but I don't care. It's just good music.
They weren't hungry.
No, there's some good stuff on those albums. Take the shitty fucking self-indulgent crap off of it and put the good songs on. You'd have a decent record. Not as good as Appetite, but it would have been a worthy follow-up. Fuck those records, man. God.
On that note, Madness, when's your show?
It is Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, from 8 to midnight. And then after mine show is the midnight album, so you can hang out and party for a good 5 hours.
Sweet. I think Monday at 8, I could probably listen for 30, 40 minutes. Dude, I'm old. I go to bed. I'm already up past my bedtime.
You get up at, 5 in the morning or
5
something?
o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, I don't get up that early, and I get up pretty early.
Well,
I don't get up that early.
5 o'clock, I let the dog out. My coffee's already brewed, so I set it to go off at 4:40, so I get up and...
You're also one of those guys, like, Bill envies me, because he's like, dude, I don't know how you do it, man, because I'll just get up, because I take my shower the night before, so I just get up, do whatever I need to do real quick, grab my lunch, I'm out the door, dude.
No coffee?
And he's like, how do you do that?
If I do that, I'm in a bad mood all day.
I do energy drinks, which, speaking of which, I have to order something from our sponsor. I'm getting paid Monday, and I've got to do it. I want to ask you some things about that, Bushy, off the show, though, if that's okay.
All right.
But yeah, get Dubby, guys. You won't regret it. Because Bushy's had it, I have not, but...
Keeps me going at work.
Well, one of the things that appeals to me about it is you're saying it's all natural flavors and they don't use sugar. I'm a diabetic, so
yeah.
I'm looking for something that not just gives me a pickup, but something that's actually tasty to drink that's not, going to kill me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, that's basically why I want to ask which flavors or what you recommend I get.
Gotcha.
We'll do that off the show, though. So,
and what I was saying is, the Cranium stuff is now on Mixcloud. So if you miss my show or anybody else's, I had a buddy of mine today say, "Hey man, I'm listening to you in the office," and so if you can't make it Monday or you miss it or you just really love it,
and Mixcloud has an app, so you can literally get it on your phone. Favorite Cranium Radio, and you can so if you do miss our live shows, because I do with some of my listeners, they'll tell me, oh man, I really I love your show, but I can't always catch all the time. Well, now you can, guys. Now you can. And the Metal Mike show is now 3 hours instead of 5, because I've got a lot going on in my life, and And also, I just
it'll never last because he's got to talk for 45 minutes. So it'll never last.
I did just fine. Me and Bill were able to talk, and yes, we are long-winded mofo's, but now that we're doing shorter blocks, and even our time on the mic is shorter. We've made a deliberate, and dude, it turned out beautifully, man. Like, I did my first 3-hour show, man, and got done, did my playlist, did everything I needed to do, and then was able to watch a little TV afterwards. I mean, when I first started, I was doing these like marathon shows, and I'm talking at TMS, and even this, I was doing a 5-hour show. But the one thing I noticed, and Jeff confirmed it, is not only would people leave in the chat, but some, I mean, dude, I around 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, people have been up all day, they get tired, they're ready for bed. So it's kind of like, you know what, man? Since my loyal listeners came from TMS and started listening to me, I'm going to make things easier for them. And also, it makes it easier for me. Like I said, I got a lot going on in my personal life and with my job and everything. And it's just really hard for me to do a 5-hour show. By the time I get done, I'm just wiped out. Wiped out. And my brother Mark then wants to get online and stay up half the night, which keeps me up because he's a night owl. I used to be a night owl, but I'm no longer a night owl because I work days. So,
like you said, I get up at 5 o'clock.
Okay, twin brother, though, I love you, man. Metal Mark, you rule. So, yeah, I've cut it down, and I was able to do it and manage. I can fucking shut the fuck up when I want to. I just don't want to when I'm around you, because you trigger me. You trigger me all the time, dude. And the listeners love it. Let's be honest. They love my meltdown.
It's such a beta word to use.
It is a beta word. I really don't like to use that word. You are right. But there's been times where I'm going, you know what? I don't like to use that word, but I think I got triggered just now, which does make me kind of feel like a mangina. Like, hi, my name's Metal Mike, and I'm a big gaping vagina. Which people who can't see, I'm taking my front arms and flapping them back and forth in front of my face. You YouTube people will enjoy that visual gag.
Good Lord. So
I can't wait to see what my brother adds to it.
I haven't even pimped that yet. I got so much other stuff on my mind that...
Well, we kind of need to.
Just about to do my 3rd show back. I've been out of the loop for 2 years. It's like,
I didn't get to listen to you because I was on call dealing with a bunch of chaos. I missed the show, man. But
I did more a hard rock metal show last week.
Did you archive it?
Of course, and I already sent it and uploaded it up to the folder.
Well, then I will listen to it on my Mixcloud app, my friend.
But let's get out of here, Steven. Thank you so much for coming on. Madness.
One quick thing, though, before you leave, Steven, is there anything you would like to plug, so to speak, as far as, besides your show, like any band, artist, album that you would like to,
Ball gags for Metal Mike.
Yeah. See, there you go. You're just like my co-host on my show. You always want to put me in these weird, strange, homoerotic situations. Kind of makes me wonder about you, Bushy.
I was just trying to quiet you down. I don't know where your mind's going.
Yeah, okay.
You're thinking some weird Pulp Fiction stuff.
Well, what else do you use ball gags for, Bushy? Let's be real.
I would say, is anything plugging? Listen to Big Star. They're a band that I absolutely love. I said it on my show last week before last, that had that band not been from Memphis but from Liverpool, they would be on par with the Beatles. So,
I've heard of them, man. If you can, send me some of their stuff.
Absolutely happy to. They got 3 records, and they're all classic.
Here's a band. This is a local band from the St. Louis Metro East area. They're called Freefield. They're like a really cool, like a psychedelic stoner rock metal band. Really, really cool. I dig them a lot. This is their self-titled album. You can get it on Bandcamp. I went ahead and supported them buying a physical copy. And of course, with Bandcamp, whenever you buy a physical copy, you get a digital download of the album for free.
Are they a lot like, what's that band you turned me on to? They Watch Us from the Moon?
No, they are different, but they're like, well, like I said, they're in that like look at the cover, dude. I mean, literally.
Well, that's kind of why I asked.
Yeah, it's very, but they're cool, dude. I really dig them. I love that kind of stuff anyway. I think you guys would dig them, man. That's my plug of the week.
That's cool. We haven't plugged anything in forever. There's a band that's been making the rounds on my Facebook feed, so I started kind of checking them out. I think all they've done so far is release singles, but they're a pop punk band of all things. that just happen to be African American guys, called The Paradox.
The Paradox, huh?
Yeah.
I'll write that down, dude.
Yeah, Paradox. Man, they're a lot of fun. I opened up with one of their tracks last week, but something happened, and I didn't end up talking about them in that first break. Oh, because we had just had all this crap happen the week before. With four deaths in the week. So I didn't mention them much. They're a great, it's a 4-piece, 2 guitars. I like that. And the 2 guitar players, they do trade off vocals and such. You can find their videos and such definitely on Facebook. They've been making the rounds there. Check them out on YouTube. I haven't found a Bandcamp yet. That doesn't mean they don't have one. But you are able to listen to their music, man, and it's real good stuff. Check them out.
Right on, man. And what was the name? Big Star? Was that the name?
Yeah.
Big Star.
They were an early 70s kind of pop rock band that were on the Stax label, which is known for kind of, their
I know
R&B
Stax.
stuff.
I went to their museum.
Right on.
Stax Records? Or I didn't get to go in it completely, but I got to check it out because I went to the Rock and Soul Museum, and oh man, it was so amazing.
Very cool. So they kind of just didn't know really what to do with them or how to promote them, and so they kind of broke up.
Some labels just don't really have a clue. It's like it's weird. They'll sign a band,
exactly,
but it's like, well, how do we market them, man? And it's kind of sad, really, because I think that's happened to a lot of great bands.
You know how you market them? You get their music out there.
Yeah. Well, that too.
Put it on the freaking radio. Remember the good old days when you handed a guy?
Hey man, remember Airheads? Remember Airheads when they're going through all the CDs?
Oh, so they're not screaming up the charts because you're not playing them.
Man, this band, he's naming all these bands. These guys are great, and you got the dickhead who's like, well, if they're so great, how come they're not burning up the airways? Because you won't play them, dickhead. Boom. But you know who does play them? Cranium Radio.
That's right.
Mic drop. Keep fighting the good fight and stay metal to your dying breath.
Absolutely.
Ozzy bless.
DJ Madness, thanks so much for being on here.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Y'all buy vinyl.
And we will have you back, Madness. I want us to do maybe a retrospective or something in the future.
Be happy anytime, man.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
All right, let's do this.
We'll see you next week.
The Plug Podcast have partnered with Dubby in an effort to grow together. The Plug Podcast has made the decision to get a sponsor. Our reason for this, no flawed ingredients. It's not 2018 anymore, and energy drinks need to evolve. Dubby achieves its smooth, effective focus with a high-end tasting experience while using no sugar, no fillers, and no artificial color or dyes. It's called Being Better. Focus and win more. Our coffee fruit cherry extract is the star of the show. This ingredient is what makes Dubby unique and helps to provide smooth and effective focus and energy, making it perfect for anyone who needs to conquer a task. Best-in-class taste, smooth focus and energy isn't enough. Dubby flavors are created with one goal in mind, to taste unlike any other beverage. We combine bold and unique flavor combinations to craft an experience for your tongue with each and every sip. Use promo code ThePlugPodcast for 10% off your purchase.
Dubby.